Okay, let's see if that's working. We have many updates.
Let's see if that's working.
What?
We have many updates.
I'm getting my own sound. Haha. Okay. We should be live properly, doing the things. I have completely revamped my office. It's been a time. Last week was where do I even start? See you on Twitch, but not here yet. Or does YouTube have such a delay? That's a good question. I'm not sure. Let's see how far behind YouTube is. I also don't see me on YouTube. Connect your encoder to go live. Huh? Oh no. Okay. Yeah, it looks like YouTube is just slower on the uptake for some reason. So that's interesting. Okay, ready for this? I have... Wait for it. I have a walking pad. So I can get my steps in while I'm streaming. This is a huge discovery for me. I have basically revamped the office to I've got this sit-stand desk now, which goes all the way to the floor, so I can sit like cross-legged or in like a squat or something, so I can get my stretches in. But then also goes all the way up here, so that I can walk during meetings and stuff. So we're gonna see if I can get my steps in on stream. That's the goal. I wonder if it comes across in the audio and if it gets annoying. Let me know. I'm also yeah, we've done a lot of revamping. The cable management to get this to work was an absolute nightmare. Like if you've got one computer, you can get like a wireless mouse and keyboard. You know, it's not that hard to get like a low wired or easily cable managed setup for something like just a one cable plug-in for your laptop or whatever, you know? But setting that up for all of this stuff, because I've got this light, I've got the camera over here, I've got my audio equipment, or like the interface. I use like a Scarlett interface to get my microphone, to get the current Linux box that I'm testing. Then I've got my monitor, which routes to both a capture card and two separate inputs, right? So the input the thing that's coming from the capture card, as well as my like laptop dock for the MacBook. And then there's power, multiple capture cards and things. It was an absolute nightmare to get it all working, but I finally got it, so I can now sit and stand and get my steps in. So let's see how this works. Okay, and it looks like, yeah, this is sort of working. Twitch is working. And YouTube's working. Okay. Yes, I've also been trying to revamp the streaming setup. So let's see how that goes. There's a lot of new stuff happening today. But one of the things that's troubling me is this. Alright, let's see. I'm going to have to bring this over here. So here's Umbrel. I'm logged in, right? But usually, like when I booted it up the first time, I could hit umbrel.local on the Mac. So if I go here, and then I have to switch inputs. Oh, we're shuffling. We got a lot going on here. Okay, so, right, okay. Let's go ahead and pop over a browser. Nope, I want it over here on this screen. There we go. If I do an umbrel.local, we don't get anything at the moment. So that's something that needs some work, right? I'm not sure what's gone on there. I'm sure it has something to do with my router. So if we pop over here, we might be able to start to understand what's going on. Yes, I do trust my own router. I'm sure that website is fine. Let's see. So something should be going on over here. On leases? I haven't leased anything yet. So it should be somewhere in... Oh. Leases? Clodbox. What is Clodbox? Was that an... What the heck is that? Proxmox server? Why is it called Clodbox? Oh, that was a little experiment. MacBook Pro. These are all my... So I don't know where Umbrel has gone. I don't know where it disappeared to. So this is confusing. I don't know. We'll see what's going on with that. In the meantime, yeah, okay, this is working. We've got people on YouTube and we've got people on Twitch. Very cool. How's everybody doing? There we go. Is chat not working, or did everybody just dip out? Let's see. For now, put this over here. The easiest fix for DNS resolution of leases on OpenSense is just use DNS mask. Okay, so I don't know what happened there, right? Like, I'm guessing Umbrel sort of pops in and does its own thing to set up its, like, this umbrel.local DNS thing, right? But it must have gotten overridden at some point by OpenSense somehow, I'm guessing. So probably the easiest thing to do is just to do an IPA over on the prox, or not the prox, this guy over here on Umbrel, and find out where it is. Like, where are you hiding? What? How did it get over there? What? Okay, hold on. Something really strange is happening here. So, I'm seeing this, like, bridge thing, and I'm not sure what's going on with that. But I'm also, like, why is my Ethernet not up? That's bizarre, isn't it? Like, something clearly has gone awry. Not much of a chatter myself, but we're here. Ah, hello, hello! So, yeah, I don't know what's gone on with that. I think we've got some debugging to do. I'd really rather just, like, reset this thing and let it do its own thing, but I don't think, like, based on how this went, I don't think it's going to play nice with the rest of my setup. And I also need to figure out how to get my tablet to stop dying. Having it on the bridge when EMP1SO is part of it isn't unusual. Okay. The question, though, is how did it get over there? Why is it on 10.21? That's not where I put this. That's not where I put things like that. Hey, Map, how's it going? Only Marino. Hello, hello. How are we doing today? We're doing all right. I've got many updates. Hold on. We've got some debugging to do, but we've also got updates. I redid the office, and now I have a walking pad, and I'm going to see if I can get 2 hours worth of steps during stream. I guess we can chat a little bit about that before we get into Umbrel stuff. I wonder if, oh my god, I kept calling him Shez last week. His name is Chase, the guy from Umbrel. I can't believe I did that. I didn't even ask how his name is pronounced. I just went with it. It was crazy. But yeah, we're gonna do some Umbrel Proing. Have some fun with that. We're testing a number of new things. We're also on Twitch. Oh, so you are on a walking pad. Yes, it's going. I have an idea for a video. I want to see if I can install Arch Linux while running a 10-minute mile with voice commands. I think it would be hilarious. I don't do, like, entertainment content very much, but that just sounds so funny that I want to try. The sound of the walking board doesn't annoy me, but I feel guilty seeing you working out from my couch. I think with a little noise filtering, I can cut the sound. Does it come through a lot? Utilizing a standing desk to its full potential. Truly. Truly. I, I, I put on a little weight while I was in Italy getting engaged because the wine is so good and so is the pasta. So I'm kind of like trying to work that off. The challenge to maintain the good breath, insane. Oh yeah, I've been practicing also singing on this thing. All right, hold on. It is torture. Is the sound torture? Because okay, let's see about fixing. Let's see about a little bit of filter. So if I do filter, edit filters, I've got compressor and gain, but I don't have a noise suppressor. So let's add one. Okay. So there we not really. Sound is fine. Okay. Okay. So still a little bit of noise suppression, probably not going to hurt. There we go. So we're going to see how that goes. Okay. So we're going to get to that later. Yeah, I've been... Walking noise is not too bad. It's kind of fun watching you walking from Sid. Almost like we were walking together in the street. Yeah, that does sound kind of nice. Chatting, yeah. I hear Kahneman and Tversky did most of their like best work on biases and heuristics while doing really long walks. Nice. The sound of the pad is gone. Excellent. Hey, Sarah, how's it going? Yes, we're giving Twitch a try, and I'm also walking during stream. Noise canceling, totally eliminated tread sound. Excellent. And is it degrading sound quality at all? I'm going to assume not really. Okay, so we got some viewers over here, and we got some folks on YouTube. Okay, cool. This is working. One of the funniest things about streaming in science and technology on Twitch is slight reverb due to, I think, distance from mic. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Science and technology on Twitch is so small, but if you have like 10 viewers, you're one of the biggest streamers in science and technology. Combining it with a generator to power a mini PC while coding on it would be an interesting. How fast? Okay, wait, hold on. That would be a really fun experiment. If I get like a bike. Well, we have two chats now. Yes. Yeah, because we're on Twitch and YouTube. I'll see if I can find a thing. That's so funny. I guess this is science and tech. Kind of. You know, like that's the best option we have. I'm also out of focus. I'm going to have to figure out the exact focal length for this. Yeah, because I'm doing self-hosting stuff and Linux chats, that's mostly science and technology. I kind of skirt the line between that and just talking, or just chatting, I guess is the category. You know. But, yeah. Okay. Let's see. Other than that, do I have any other cool updates? The folks at Umbrel sent me an SSD to see if we can get Umbrel working, so I can actually demo it, because I didn't have a spare SSD. But now we're getting a problem. So I guess we kick things off. Science, tech, mental health, and now exercise. Yeah, we got them all. I don't know. I've never been good at sticking to one topic, so now we're here. Okay, so here's the Linux box, right? Here's Umbrel. It's called Linux box in my stream setup, so that's why I'm gonna. I've got like one station with the capture card for it. This is our situation, right? It seems to have gotten itself onto a weird part of my network, and I don't know why. And so the Umbrel.local thing isn't working the way that I'd wanted it to. I don't know how we got here. Yeah, I believe it won't be a good idea unless you have a UPS, so that you have at least some backup, not to lose everything every 2 minutes. If we make it a challenge, though, then it's really funny when I lose everything every 2 minutes. Right? Sorry, chat is set up on my iPad over here, and it closes pretty frequently. iPad battery life is pathetic. Okay. So, we need to solve this. I think we're just going to start by seeing if we can go to this address. And if it takes us where we're going. I don't think I can, though. But, whatever. I don't know how we ended up over here. What are we doing with the Umbrel OS today? Well, first we're trying to make it work, and then we're gonna try. See about Hermes. I got my 100 tokens of Compute General or General Compute, so we got that going on to play with a bunch of local AI, well, not local, alternative AI, not ChatGPT. So we got some tokens to play around with. Okay, so this is our situation. I believe this was at 10.21.0.1. I don't think that's going to work because that's not the subnet I'm on. What iPad do you have? I got like an old one way before the M series. It's battery life is not good. Okay, so for some reason we're over here. So I guess we have to go over to my router and see about that. Is 100 tokens a lot? $100 worth of tokens on this platform seems to be getting me quite a bit. Okay. So, thing is, it's clearly not on LAN, because this is the subnet that I put things on, intentionally. This is the subnet I put guest Wi-Fi stuff on. How the heck did Umbrel get completely out of here? What's causing network segments? I have no idea. Like, as you all know, I'm not very good at networking. This is not one of my skills, my strongest skills. So, I don't know what's going on. I think it could be really bad for better. Yes, indeed. I don't know how we ended up over here. Like, I really don't even know where to look at this point. So, because, like, my router's not even supposed to be doing this. I thought I had set it up not to do that. How did this happen? Yeah, viewers, stream boo. Huh? Am I getting botted? What the heck is that? Okay. So, like, how did it request an address for here? It shouldn't be possible? Okay, bunch of weird errors. Like, we're not over here. We're not doing this. Ah, an advert. I see. Was it supposed to be a static lease? The bridge has a different MAC. I see. Maybe just reinstalling. I mean, I could just reinstall. I think I might, because they were letting me know that apparently there's like a new version that's out that I want to be. That's the version I want to be using. So I could just reinstall. But it is kind of frustrating that this happened. And the thing is, like, I don't know if it was supposed to be a static lease because Umbrel just like magically sets it up, and that's one of those things, right? I didn't step in and make a static lease, so I don't really know what happened in the middle. I basically, like, I put it aside, and then I plugged it back in, powered it on, but this time with the SSD, and we're in the middle of like nowhere on my network. So that's really quite strange. I think it might be a reinstall angle, which is really on brand for me. So that's fun, right? Even with something like this, we end up with at least 2 installs. So maybe that's what we do today. In that case, I don't know. It feels kind of like cheating to just bail out and reinstall. But I really don't know how any of this is working. Does the OS even boot? You can tinker with it. Can you tinker with it anyway? Yes, I can. So here, if we go, we can just pop into here, right? But from here, it warns me that none of these settings are going to stick. So I don't know what process it's going about to request its address, like how, I don't know. So could be reinstall unless anybody else has ideas. Like, I don't know. Yeah, thoughts, anyone? I'm gonna start downloading Umbrel OS to prepare this process, anyways, and we'll take it from there. I am a little concerned though. Like, if this is something that happens, then is maintenance of this going to require some work? I mean, I guess it's just going to request it on the first try, and then this time I'll make sure to go into my my OpenSense page and like request a static lease this time. Wasn't listening closely, was cleaning up some stuff. What's the problem? Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, so basically, Umbrel, the situation was I booted up Umbrel last week. Everything worked as intended, right? And then I sort of put it to the side for the week. I plugged in the new drive they sent me, and so this is just an SSD that's blank because you needed to go through the like tutorial or the walkthrough. I booted it up today, and then I'm getting like Umbrel. The Umbrel device has ended up like way outside my usual subnet for everything, so I can't access it. And I don't know how it got there. I don't even know how it managed to request an IP that like all the way out there. So we might just go about a reinstall because I don't know how much control I have over the underlying Linux. Right? There's this statement up here that's like we're going to revert everything you set while you're in the shell. I'm like, okay, well, then clearly that's not the way to interact with this. But also, I don't have access to their GUI at the moment. Does your OpenSense usually resolve DNS queries for host names that were provided in DHCP queries? And is your OpenSense DNS resolver directly or indirectly used by your client? That I don't know. I don't think it does that. I never did any configuration to make it do that, so I really doubt that's one of the things it's up to. One of these days I need to take a networking course so I don't like confuse myself. Also, where the heck's the download? You should check who the DHCP resolver it saw was. Okay, how do I go about that? DHCP resolver it saw. Because, yeah, like it definitely didn't see this. When you have multiple subnets on a single wire plant, you need to either static lease or set the VLAN install so it knows which IP ranges to get. An IP address from multiple IP ranges will be offered by the router. Is Umbrel systemd? I think so. It seems to me to be based on Debian. Let's pop over. Yes, based on Debian 6.12. So I'm going to assume it's systemd. So I guess we can do send the command you need in Discord DM. Bless you. Thank you. Okay, let's try this. DHC. I see. Nothing. Okay. Yes, agreed. That's really weird. Okay, so we're looking for an acknowledgement of the DHCP request. Is that correct? That's what we're searching for in our journal. And what we're finding is that there was never an acknowledgement. So it seems to have just like, where did it get this IP address from? Okay, cool. Well, at least I understood that much. I don't... Okay. Network manager, connection device. Device is managed. Ask for missing parameters, colors, escape, help, pretty, show secrets, terse version, wait. Can I do this? Cool. Why is Wi-Fi enabled? Do command in DM so you can try to find it. Needed to know if it was network manager based. Ah, okay, thank you. DHCP server identifier. Manager. Permission denied. Okay. Nothing. Oh, I mistyped. It's not a DHCO server, is it? Okay, come on. No way. Something bizarre has happened. Something very bizarre. Okay. Let me think a second. Okay. How does this even happen? Like, it makes me wonder what strange, like, what stuff is going on in the sort of like magic enabler, magic setup Umbrel OS does, you know? Let's see. All right, I'll pop back over here when we've got more thoughts on this. In the meantime, we'll start working on the backup plan of reinstalling. This. Do I have? I've got this. One thing the Umbrel Pro really needs is like one USB-A port. That would be awesome. Because I know you're like the intention is that you just plug it in. Doing something weird, I think. New command to DM. Okay. Okay. Network control status. Okay. Let's give that a shot. I really want to get like a next dock so that I can check on things quicker without using my main monitor. Okay. What do we got? Control status. Holy shit. Is it possible that network configuration got corrupted in some way? I think so. It's just a correlation, but an SBIN root N could show if you're going through a GW. A second DHCPD wouldn't set it to your OpenSense. Okay, let's try that. SBIN root. What? No root. Yeah, that's for real not there, is it? Huh. It's seeming like the network configuration got corrupted in some way, but I'm not sure. How? Like, how does that happen? You know what I mean? Okay. Well, we'll keep cooking on that while I go looking to reinstall. I guess that's the game. I download the new version, Umbrel OS, announcement. This is one of the downsides of like super automated stuff. Couple more to try. Sorry for the slowness. I'm trying to learn Umbrel remotely in parallel to help. Oh, I'm not at all surprised. Like this is very fast response. Thank you so much for the help. Resolve control. Okay. We're doing a resolve control and we're looking for different path because Umbrel is ephemeral. Oh, good catch. Okay. Do I got everybody on the right screen? We do. Resolve control status. Nothing. Just joined. What is the current task? Something's going on with Umbrel OS and it's managed to get itself all the way onto a subnet that I don't use, and we're not sure how. So we're trying to debug it. I'm getting a lot of help. Thanks for joining. Yeah, what happened? Because I just put it to the side. Like, it wasn't on. There we go. We got something, but a bunch of stuff. We're going to sudo it. Nothing. What? Okay. Yep. This is a reinstall thing. I'm trying to figure out what DHCP it thinks it saw. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to I think at this point we're doing the classic Nathan Laundry reinstall, install number 2. Just okay, where's the download? Do I have to go to their GitHub to get the download? Feels a little weird. That's fine. At least I can show off that it's open source. That's cool. Releases. Okay. This one. While we work on the reinstall, how's everyone doing? Any system that doesn't generate logs is sus to me. Yeah, this is bizarre. What kind of projects are you working on? What's going on? How's it going? Initialize. Okay, short. Okay. So, am I done? Yeah, that was fast. This guy. All right, we'll run that, and we'll do a little reinstall. In the meantime, you all get Facecam. Or what do you guys prefer? Do you want to watch the progress, or is it Facecam time? In the meantime, I'm gonna get more steps. I'm sorry, I just get such a kick out of this. I got like an hour walk during my meeting today with my coworker slash boss, and I just love that. It makes me happy. IP root show is a new SBIN. All right, let's take a look. We've got some more time until we just go the nuclear reboot or reinstall approach. Okay, so yes, this is what I was picking up off of this, right? We saw the Docker thing, and then we saw this bridge. Got stun SDP ice implemented in Mux Opus. Just turn is missing for full WebRTC. I could add WIP, so it could be used as your third streaming platform. That sounds super cool. I would love to give it a shot once it's ready. Having done the Hermes setup recently, a thin setup is easy. A thick one takes a while. I spent several hours. Okay. What do you define as like the difference between a thin setup and a thick setup? I'm guessing like more integrations into the rest of your system and stuff like that. Do you have fun stuff like it reads your emails and things? I don't know what to do. Oh, okay. One thing I want to talk about is 1021.01 your OpenSense. I don't think so. Like my OpenSense is set to, what are my options for OpenSense? I've got like two subnets that I use. I have guest Wi-Fi at 10.10.20, and I have LAN at 10.10.10, right? How anything ended up at 10.21 is just bizarre to me. I don't think I use that. So it seems to have just like come up with this on its own. Okay, but one thing I want to talk about is why is it that PewDiePie, the like Minecraft streamer and YouTuber, keeps making really cool stuff. If your network is not detected, sometimes DHCP clients default to a totally bogus network. Oh, okay. Sorry, I set automod pretty aggressively by default, so we'll dial that back. You just create a subnet for it. I mean, I guess I could. Do you have a link on the device? I'm not sure. I don't think so. Like, because I need it reachable by everything on my like main subnet, right? So I think that would be somewhat self-defeating. Look, blinking lights. Ah, yes. No, it is plugged in. It was a default route of the interface on Umbrel, so it's likely that you have something running there that set itself as the gateway. Oh yeah, let me do that. Yes, Sarah, I'll set that up. So many things to do all at once today. And it was the faster response when your first lease expired. Okay, interesting. Oh no, no reason to apologize. Let's see if we can figure that out. Okay. Oh, I see. What the heck? What did it mod you for? Or what did yeah, okay. So I've got here. No, I don't want to block or report. I want to promote. Mod view. That's oh my god. There's too many things. Warn, whisper, ban, report. Where is promote? Where is that feature? Didn't the self-host think something literally on his Steam Deck? That sounds pretty cool. But to completely rebuild CamoFox from source as its own container for my machine via a distroless NixOS container. It's mostly a me problem. Just /mod. Okay, okay. Awesome. Thank you. I got auto-corrected typing your name. Invalid username. You gotta be kidding me. Ah, I did it backwards. That's the problem. I swapped them. /mod dev use. No! Haha! There we go. Now we've done it. Excellent. Okay. So, where were we? Oh, where's our build? Okay, cool. So we've got this flashed. I think we're going to go that route on this guy, and we're just going to rebuild it. I'll let the Umbrel folks know that this happened and be like, hey guys, that was strange. But I needed to update to the next version anyways, so it's kind of all good. Really? There we go. Cool. Let's get you all on the Linux box. View. The big question for me would be, and why are the logs missing? Yeah, I don't know what the heck happened with that. That is truly bizarre. Hey, look at that. We got more viewers on Twitch. Hello, friends. How's it going? Oh, that is a tiny screen. It's okay. We're just doing the install process. I'm going to guess they also make their install process simple and easy. Something clearly got really wonky while the device was chilling on my floor, I guess. Whatever it is, we'll get it up and running, and then we can play around with Hermes. Do I know what model I'm going to back Hermes with? Well, from General Compute, I've got access to what? Is it Kitty Max 2.7, and I've got DeepSeek. So I'll play around with either one of those. I want to play around with self-hosting some AI stuff at some point, but I don't really know. If only we can understand a thing that's written on screen, right? Like, okay, here, hold on. I'm gonna temporarily zoom this in. Never mind. Guys, I think I might be an awful streamer. I think I might be terrible at this. What is happening? Please. Oh, I definitely will. If I get moving on that, I could use a lot of help with that. Okay, you know what? It's not worth this trouble here. We're just gonna leave that small. It's just the install. Minimax is really smart, but it will chomp your budget. Okay, good to know. Do you find DeepSeek was all right? Okay, here we go. We're getting our reboot. Now before I just try Umbrel.local from my MacBook, I will do a little IPA action over on this device and see what it gets. Because maybe, I don't know, maybe something strange just happened. No, we do have. I didn't try pinging out to like Google or something. I probably should have done that to see if I had internet access. Oh, I haven't seen anything from WWDC yet. Was it cool? We can take a sec to chat about it. Because I'd love to just go over that a bit. I do need to check out this Umbrel stuff first. But absolutely. Stop. Okay, this is all looking fine. This is looking good. Well, this is looking normal. Hey, Matt, did you find anything really cool with WWDC? I don't know much about what happened. I don't know anything about what happened yet. Down, down, down. Okay, what the? I don't believe you could have gotten into the internet given the IP address was not consistent with any routes. Claude keeps spreading mutexes all over my low latency code. Okay, I'm starting to think that we've got a bad Ethernet cable here. That's what I'm thinking. Do you guys know what I'm talking about here? Are you feeling that too? Because, like, why we got nothing. That's not normal. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Let me see. I'm gonna be really annoyed if it's the freaking cable, because like cable management is. I spent a lot of time on that last week. Minimax dodged that bullet when helping me. iPhone 11 is getting iOS 27. Really? Liquid glass can be disabled? That's huge! I hate liquid glass! Oh god. Please tell me it's not the cable. Please. This is gonna suck. WatchOS requires at least Series 10 and Ultra 2. Interesting. Is anything any interesting new features? Anything like that? I think what I should have done during cable management is set up like a second switch just here on the desk. Do you see link lights on switch port and NIC on device? Something's funky. You're right. It's not clicking in properly. This is alarming. Oh. Okay. So on Chewy, I get a nice click, but on this, it's not clicking when I plug it in. That's one bad sign, but I'm also not getting. Oh, hey, there we go. We got a click. Hold on. Hey! Are you shitting me right now? Okay. I didn't plug the Ethernet cable in far enough. I didn't plug it in far. Are you serious? That was the problem? Okay. All right. You know what? I can't be mad. Thanks, Dad, for saving me again. Did your Ethernet port get loose? I guess. I really thought I jammed it in there, but I guess not. You know what? On the bright side, I don't have to reroute cables, right? So really, this is an opportunity for gratitude, right? This is an opportunity for gratitude. That's what we're getting out of this. Excellent. Next, Nathan gets zapped because it was actually a PoE. Okay. Now we can go back to walking. If I have to think hard, we're not walking. Troubleshooting be like, yeah, for real. The number of times back when I was writing C, it was just like off by one errors, causing ridiculous seg faults. I don't know, man. Okay, boom, Umbrel.local. This time with a drive. Thank you everybody for bearing with me and for your help. We've really got like a team of super advisors. Home labbing is so much nicer. With a bunch of people who really know what they're doing, helping you at every turn. It's just a much better experience. Okay, can't enable failsafe. Is that what they call RAID Z something or other? Is that what that is? That's fine. I'm throwing, this is all going to be throwaway data. Configuring your stuff. Why? Can you tell me what happened? Please shut down and try again. Okay. Do what we can as we wish others do. Yes. Much appreciated, friends. Okay. Well, I guess we're just powering down. Really no idea what's going on here. Yeah. If only I could do home labbing, but not with current memory and storage prices. Yeah, very understandable. And honestly, if it wasn't for just like inheriting some tech from a couple of people, and then YouTube things sending me stuff, like there is no way. Try resetting the drive. All right, let's give that a shot. It did detect it. Maybe it's the problem. Like, it did detect it, right? Home labbing is still quite cheap. Yeah, there are ways, like, if you can grab an old ThinkPad or something and just turn that into your server, that's an option. 134. Okay, I don't think that was the address from before, so I might be getting Umbrel.local, like, cached. Oh, we're good. Okay, so I don't think it actually failed there. I think it just thought it failed. So that's interesting. I know I need to do an update here. Migration assistant, no. Oh, Wait, we're on the most recent version. Okay, somewhere along the lines it updated. I didn't make it do that. Yes, I will say the sort of like it's fun to dream about the perfect setup, but it is really fun to kind of have to do some scrappy stuff. Like the number of projects I've used Chewy for, right? And this guy Chewy, the classic, was like I don't know 200 Canadian, and you can get a lot done with that. Okay, so let's see. Usual App Store things. I'm not doing a bunch of Bitcoin stuff. Wow. All right, Hermes right away. That's boom. Let's just install. Why not? Wow, that does look like Mac OS. Yeah, they're clearly marketing toward the like a software developer or content creator who's techie but not yet made the jump into like the full Linux world. You know what I mean? Okay, V-Link boxes are still a good call if you just need a ready-to-go starter box. Yes, yes. I've got a V-Link box here that I'm actually giving away. I need to put Windows on it, unfortunately. It's like my friend's dad is replacing his like big old desktop PC. It's probably got like a Sandy Bridge i3 in it with a mini PC. So yeah, old ThinkStations can still rock. Oh yeah, guys, explain to somebody who doesn't really know much about AI what is OpenClaw and all the AI agents things. That's an excellent question. Let's chat about that a little bit because like I'm not super familiar. I do plenty of AI coding, right? Because if you write software for any part of your living, you're familiar with AI coding practices by this point, right? But like the world of sort of agentic assistance, Hermes and OpenClaw and all of that stuff, I have not cracked it very much at all. I know the basics, like you can hook it into your email and stuff like that. But I don't know like where the joy of it is coming from. I don't know where like what the power of it is yet. So that's going to be part of the exploration we do together. I'm trying to like I don't know. There's so many. There's so much to talk about in the sort of like ethics of AI that I don't want to get into on stream. I'd rather just try to look at this as a tool and see what happens. You know, it powers two things: persistence and periodicity. Okay, so one thing I've been enjoying a lot is from Cloud Code, right? I can set like remote control on, and then I can run the session from my phone, or I can connect to the session from my phone, and like kind of get Claude to do codey things remotely by just leaving my MacBook running. And I imagine Hermes lets you do a lot of that kind of thing, but on steroids, which is cool, except I'm not like a phone person. I did the remote thing with OpenCode. Okay, cool. Yeah. See, now that is really cool. But like with my like smartphone thing, I don't really want my phone to be supercharged. So yeah. All right. Let's see. Let's go back to MacBook desktop. Boom. At least for me, getting a big AI model from somewhere in the cloud, access your emails, calendar, even an entire computer sounds quite concerning. Yes, that is one of the reasons that I'm quite like I don't like the idea of these things that much until I can go fully self-hosted. You know, like if I can get properly self-hosted with AI, then I'm open to this sort of thing, right? But if I'm like, I don't want Sam Altman reading my emails. Like he probably already is, but like I'm not looking forward to making that easy for him. You know? Okay. So let's poke about. How would you like to set up Hermes? Hermes needs an AI model to work. Quick setup requires a new portal account. Full setup connects a service you already use, like OpenAI. Okay. Let's do it. Sure. Choose how to connect to your main chat model. Oh, there's so many options. Wow, there are a lot of options. Configure auxiliary custom endpoint. So I imagine I would want a custom endpoint for this sort of thing. But in the meantime, I can just, I guess I can plug in OpenAI. I don't really love that. I don't love that. You want Quadrant, by the way. Okay, you really want a B65 Pro these days. Sweet spot for cost performance for home AI. Oh, what is that? B65. What the? Oh. Okay. Okay. Okay, so we can run like some of the smaller models, but we're probably not doing like a ton of AI coding off of this box. Is that kind of where you are? And then for this, you mentioned. Ooh, that's not one. Come on now. I'm just going to restart the page. I do AI coding on a Vega 56. Okay, cool. So when you say quadrant, like quadrant, there's something crawling behind on the wall. That's creepy. All right. The future of learning sources is private data. Is scary. Yes, that's fucking creepy. I'll ask about quadrant. I'm just letting you know. Yes, you want it. Okay, cool. So let me go off screen for a second to handle the general compute stuff, because I need to set this up with no. Okay. Get a Copilot. No. I guess we could use DeepSeek or Kimi, Coding Plan, Moonshot. No. Minimax? Custom endpoint. I think that's what we want. So I'm just going to have to do this off screen a little bit. In the meantime, y'all can see my face cam. Okay. So I can get API keys. How does general compute work again? Products docs. Migrate API keys and base URLs. So I guess I can do custom endpoint. API base URL. Okay. I think that's working. I think that's what we want. API key. Okay. Okay, chat. I've got to go. See you in the map. Thanks for dropping by. Always nice to hear from you. Okay. Yeah, let's go auto detect. Excellent. Okay. Thank you. Cool. All right, so let's go back to the MacBook desktop view. We're having a good time. Available models. Which one's going to churn through tokens the most? It looks like... Oh, DeepSeek V... Okay, I want to go 3.1 because I get more context that way, and it's still pretty cheap. So I think that's our solution. Context length in tokens, auto detect. Sure. Okay, select terminal backend. Local, run directly on this machine. We're in a Docker container, so that's fine. Oh, you can do Singularity in Aptainer? Now that's what I'm talking about. It's a little old now, but it'll be fine to test. Perfect. Okay, we're going to go local because we're already in a container, so we're chill. Right? I think we're in agreement on that. Oh, things to connect to. I don't want to connect to any of these things yet. I don't want general compute having all this. I don't know what they see and what they don't see, or what they say they see, but I'm not touching that yet. Yes, web searching. Sure. We're in a container, so it's safe-ish. Mixture of agents. No API key. Twitter's for suckers. I don't want to generate video anyways. Text-to-speech. That's cool. Skills. Yes, we need skills, task planning, and memory. Runtime tools from the active context engines. Spotify. Sure. We don't need macOS computer use. Let's hit that. Let's see how it goes. Sure. I don't need image generation. Skip. What is this? Choose a provider? Yeah, no, I'm good. Text-to-speech stuff. No API key. What? This is just free? What is Microsoft getting out of that? Oh, that's a cool way to test that. We're just gonna do Piper. Does it set up Piper for me? Holy shit, how many things do I need to do? What is this for? Fire crawl? I don't want paid free searching. Okay. Okay. I don't know what I just did, so I'm pretty sure I messed up a bunch of stuff. But we can mess around. I used kitten. Okay, cool. I don't know what that is. So yeah, I think we probably messed up a few things up, but that's okay for now. Let's just start a conversation. Hello. Cool. Okay, that's cool. How much it kind of knows about itself. Research and information gathering, file management, web automation. Okay. My local searching, though you may have to make sure container networking is set up for it to reach. Yes, I don't have searching set up yet. So that's something. Wow, that's a big system prompt. I mean, it's not like Claude big, but it's a big system prompt. Okay, what can we get it to do? See, this is my problem. I start doing like AI stuff. I'm like, okay, but what are we gonna get it to do? You can have it help you with it. Okay, cool. Let's try that. What can you help me do? Can you help me set up? Okay. Yeah, I'm curious, right? Because like, skill view Umbrel. It can run Umbrel? Okay, hold on. Skills. Airtable. Get an Airtable. Searching archive is cool. Creative ASCII video. Architecture diagram. Cool. Okay, this is interesting. Delegating coding to Claude Code. Interesting. Red teaming smart home. Open Hue. Ah, cool. Hermes agent skill authoring. Okay, what was I looking for? Umbrel. Oh, I didn't eat enough today. Not umbrella. Does this mean it's on? Yes. Okay, it does. Can I read it? Use when working with Hermes agent on Umbrel OS, including persistence, paths, container behavior, app updates. Okay, cool. All right, it's seeking. It's deep seeking. How's the experience on stream so far, by the way? Is it weird that like chat is split? Probably a little bit weird. We'll figure it out. A little hard to read. Ah. Here. Well. There we go. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, interesting. Is it trying... Okay, wait. Is it trying to set up Docker Compose inside this container? They're basically the same two people here and there, so not really that weird. Okay, cool. Chat on 2 is weird. I had to join both. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So the thing is, I don't know what the sudo password is because I'm within the container. So I mean, I guess we could try something, but I have no idea if that's going to work. I don't know what password got set within the container. It is interesting to kind of see it go. So I like that I can track the tool calls. Who am I and groups? It probably, what, did it get confused when Docker Compose didn't work? I wish I could see the trace. Oh, tools. Okay. Context. Okay. Not that much. Agent init failed. No inference provider. Run Hermes model. Okay, no, we fixed that. So I think we're okay. Yeah, we're chilling now. Sweet. Did it? Yeah, I'm not sure what it's up to. I don't know. I wish it had like asked me something first. Maybe it's still gathering information about what it's capable of, and that's why it started by reading Umbrel and Hermes. But I think it might have just gone off and started working on setting up searching. I guess we'll see. I guess we shall see. DeepSeek is very bullish. Doesn't it have something like a plan mode? Maybe. It might. So I'm seeing that Hermes is a sort of persistent agent harness. Is that kind of what we're talking about here? So it's like running it's running a harness on a persistent system that I can just reach at any time. Kind of like when and then it plugs into more stuff. Right? So kind of like when people were buying Mac Minis to run OpenClaw forever. Is that... That's a fair way to put it. It manages inputs and outputs of a more exotic nature than a normal agent harness. Okay. Yeah, okay. So, no. Oh, sorry, 1 second. My fiance forgot her keys at my parents' place, so she's knocking. I'll be right back. Whoa. Yeah. Okay. What is it up to? So okay, it's trying to run Docker. It is at least interesting to see what it's up to, right? It's trying to run Docker, and then it's trying to figure out what it has access to, I guess. I'm going to let it do that while we poke about. So there's models, there's sessions. We have logs. Okay, cool. We can set up cron jobs. Create profile default, daily summary. So cron job, but it's an agentic cron job. Cool. Oh, so you can do like an actual cron. You can do, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Deliver to, and then, okay, wait a second, this is cool. Turns up pod every 5 hours that it should finish what it started. Oh, that would be nice. Okay. This is interesting. I don't have the kind of job where I need this, where I need like a daily summary kind of thing. But I can see some people really enjoying this. We got skills, we got plugins. Memory provider. Okay, so interesting. You can install plugins over here. Join a Google Meet call, transcribe live captions, speak in real time, follow up afterwards. Could you imagine? Imagine you could get it to collect logs from multiple servers and use its AI-ness to evaluate the logs and warn you about possible hardware failures. That would be nice. I know like a lot of companies are looking into AI-based log reviewers. Hey, make sure I take medicine every morning. Yeah, okay. Okay, I could see that being interesting. Okay. Spotify stuff. Umbrel runtime injects compact Umbrel runtime context. Oh, these are the ones I already have installed. Why is Google Meets installed by default? That's weird. Security guidance, cool. Teams pipeline, okay. I can see that it's like kind of oriented toward like professionals. When you wire a cron job to the ability to talk on Discord. Okay. Cool. We can plug in MCP stuff. That's fine. Linear. Is this like a Kanban board kind of thing? Is that what that is? I've heard about this N8N stuff for AI workflows, but yeah. I haven't played with that yet. Channels? Okay. You can do webhooks. This could be interesting. Webhooks, I could see some uses for this. Pairing. I don't know what pairing does. I'm going to create file. Config. Agent. Max turns. Okay, so we can get really in the nitty-gritty. Delegation. Different models. Terminal. Okay, so this is kind of interesting. Like, I could run Hermes agent on some really thin machine and then have over SSH have like a dev machine that has a little bit more juice. Okay. I am interested about the memory things. We have various compression algorithms, looks like. Okay, but this is all kind of once you've already decided the thing is useful. Okay, it's not just showing my codes, right? Nice. Cool. All right, well, let's see what it's up to. It's still chugging. All right. Close down some of this. I do kind of want to try PewDiePie's thing. That could be fun. This kind of thing is the future I want, basically. I want quality land without the dystopia. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there are some very useful features here, right? I'm curious how much we're spending. Yeah, like we're not burning through that much. I'm gonna drop this. Like, I do see opportunities for kind of like AI that's self-hosted actually being quite useful, right? Like the sort of fantasy of Iron Man working with Jarvis, you know, actually being useful and sort of like working together on things is cool, right? That is cool, and there are opportunities, I think, to help design your own local AI effectively, such that it sort of shapes your behavior in directions that you plan for and want, right? Just like I can put a treadmill under my desk to get steps in, and essentially making my environment more conducive to a behavior that I want and my overall health. There's no reason that some other tool that has automatable stuff wouldn't be useful. It couldn't be useful, right? But as soon as that data is in the hands of anybody but you, we've got a problem. So, yeah. Okay. Give me my Star Trek computer. Yeah. While we're talking, Claude replaced an atomic by a mutex. Again, it looks like its signature move. The second brain that all the productivity gurus touted, but real. Ideally, right? Yeah. It's interesting to me, and I am enjoying sort of like playing with it and seeing where it goes. I do enjoy the collaborative AI coding, right? If you're just sort of letting it loose and not reading your code, and you're not capable of reading code, you're gonna have a very bad time. It's kind of my feeling. I do still feel like you need to be fluent in whatever language you're like AI coding in, right? If you can't read what it's producing, and even if you don't read what it's producing, it's just going to be a horrible experience. Okay. In the meantime, what else do we have here? So, storage. Why does it think I've got 4 terabytes? Oh, sorry. It's currently storing 3 gigabytes, not 4 terabytes. Got it. Okay. Cool. I mean, I like the interface. It's kind of difficult to have that much more to say about these sorts of things. I've seen a number of these, I've seen this and Zima OS, and they feel extremely similar to me. I like that 2-factor authentication is an option. That's kind of cool. I like that Wi-Fi isn't on by default. I like this image. Cool. Failsafe is a nice, friendly way to talk about redundancy. I know it's ZFS under the hood, so that's cool. Another Umbrel or NAS. This is nice. Cool. I like that. So check. Are we seeing this right now? So I'm gonna let Hermes away, right? I'm kind of reviewing it at the moment. It's good. Some things I concur. You need a human in the loop. I don't need to know the language, but I read enough languages that I get it. Yeah, unless it's Rust. Like, it's really easy for me as somebody who's written C and Python to read TypeScript, right? Like, that's not a huge leap, except for a lot of arrows. JavaScript people love arrows, whatever. Cool. That's great. But even as somebody who's written C, reading C++ is quite challenging, right? C++ is a whole other beast. So I think a little bit of fluency there is going to matter. If you're jumping levels too, right? So let's say I'm purely a Python developer, right? Jumping to a language where you manage memory is going to be hard. So I do think, like, those sorts of experience levels are going to matter. I think if you're planning on working in a system, or if you're planning on doing software development, even if it's largely AI driven, in a code base in a particular language, it's probably a good idea to go spend like a weekend doing advent of code in that language to learn kind of idiomatic that language. It's an anti-pattern as far as I'm concerned. I feel that. I have been enjoying writing TypeScript, AI writing TypeScript. I read the code, I review the code, I go in and edit code. I want to do some advent of code in TypeScript to improve my fluency, but I've been finding that language fun to code in. TypeScript is my default language. I get it now. I get why people like TypeScript. It's pretty decent. I think I have this. That can work. Is it assuming? Oh, let's go. Select a shared add. Connect to another Umbrel, a NAS, or a shared drive on your network to access them within files. This is awesome. Nasty.local must have free space equal to at least twice your backup size. Okay, it was awesome. It didn't talk to me. I felt miscommunicated to for a second there, because we started with backups, right? And I was like, okay, cool, we're setting up backups. That's great, right? But then it was like, hey, you can access this from your files. And I was like, oh, okay, we're setting up. Oh, okay. Okay, it did that too. Okay, yeah. Still really good. still really good, but there's a little bit of like not optimal communication happening there. But that was really quite seamless. I like that it just picked up my NAS and I can see this. I don't need Office-like things, so Nextcloud isn't really exciting to me. Let me make this a little bigger. But just having like a GUI for accessing shared photos and things like this, because TrueNAS Scale isn't really the interface for like my fiance to be looking at stuff. She's not going to love that experience. But this is a very reasonable experience for somebody to be interacting with who's maybe not as technical, right? That's cool. I like this as an idea. Oh, I like that apps. Okay. I like this. This is cool. What's Hermes up to? Sorry, I just wanted to poke about and see what else we got. Advanced settings. All right. What do you got for me over here? Umbrel OS beta program. Cool. I can open up a terminal. I can jump into the terminal for an application. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I like that. Yep, this looks good. Remote access. Remote Tor access. Access your Umbrel from anywhere using a Tor browser. I don't want that. Maybe I don't know enough, but that doesn't sound safe to me. I'm going to assume that I'm not in the know about that because that seems like a weird feature to build in if you don't know, you know? Now, I know there's a remote access option that's built on Tailscale, but I don't really know how to enable it. File sharing. Access your files, Dropbox style, as a network folder. Right, yeah. Share all your files on Umbrel. Maybe umbrel.local and click connect. That's a long-ass password, but sure. Oh! That's nice. I like that they always just assume Linux users are going to know. They're like, brother, if you're on Linux, you'll figure it out. Does Umbrel have Yggdrasil support? Why do I feel like I just got like these nuts? What is Yggdrasil? What is that? It's an early Linux distribution that would... Is this what you're talking about? Holy crap, it's still going. What is it doing? Okay. It was my first distro. Yes, didn't stick to it. I see. Yggdrasil network. Huh. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I realize, what is this? Light? That drops me back in there? No. How do I resume the chat? Do we? I can rename that session. I want to resume the session. Can I do it from here? Resume? Aha. Okay, this one? No? What were you trying to do? Yggdrasil network. Its usability made me keep Atari a bit longer. Okay. Yggdrasil-network.github.com. The new experimental compact routing scheme is designed to be a future-proof and decentralized alternative to the structured routing protocols commonly used today on the internet, as well as an enabling technology for future large-scale mesh networks. Okay, I can see why this would be relevant. I have no idea. I can ask the team. Holy shit, it finally figured it out. Trying to understand the Docker environment. Okay, great. Can you install searching as a separate umbrella? Let's see how it does. it spent a lot of time figuring this out. It would be kind of cool if Umbrel could be managed by Hermes, because it would also be dangerous. But let's imagine for a second the ideal world where, Hermes is perfectly safe and it gets it right every time. Let's just imagine that for a second. It would be awesome if, like, by voice command, I could be like, hey, I want a search engine that's private and stuff. And Hermes is like, cool, I'm going to use Umbrel to install the official searching package, and we're going to assume for another second that these are well-maintained repositories of images that are always kept up to date. And, we're patching CVEs and all that kind of stuff. And so somebody can just voice command their way through that, installing and setting up their home lab without really having to know what's going on. It'd be kind of cool. However, I need to clarify something. I cannot directly install new Umbrel apps from within this Hermes container. As the Umbrel skill explains, this Hermes agent runs as a containerized app within Umbrel OS. Yeah, okay, that's what I figured. Did it not just tell me it could do that? Use Umbrel's app system. Install searching as a separate Umbrel app. Okay, so we have a few options. Not it can do this for me. I can do it for it. Awesome. All right, that's fine. Let's go ahead and use the App Store to see about that. Call it on that discrepancy. It may be confused. Okay, let's try it. So I have to install it myself via the App Store. You don't have the ability to install things onto Umbrel via a skill or tool. Yeah, I don't know what they've shipped, right? Like, what has Umbrel done to customize this? No idea. Chat and act, works across channels, remembers your workflow. It doesn't look like they've done a lot of customization. Right-click this. Stop, restart, troubleshoot, view an app store. Let's troubleshoot. It just drops me in here. Okay. So there's no, is there no way for me to look at, sort of how the Docker composes is kind of set up? Uses you as an agent. I'm the agent. Now AI's gone too far. Okay. You're absolutely right. Thank you for the clarification. You're correct that I cannot install new Umbrel apps from within this Hermes container. Hermes agent runs as a containerized app. Yes. Okay. Work with files and ops, run commands and scripts, help with research and document. Yeah, you'll need to install it yourself via the Umbrel app, and then I'll have to link it up properly. Okay. That's fine. Oops. Not what I wanted. You can go back there. Why am I the agent? Okay. Okay, so just clarifying. Does that mean right now it can't search? Is that correct? Y'all have any experience with micro VMs? I read about them a little bit a while back. I was learning about some HPC stuff, but no real experience. Just some cursory reading. I gotta say, gang, I've been walking. This is my 4th hour of walking today. I walked an hour while I was coding for work, and I walked an hour during a meeting. And we're an hour and a half into walking on this stream. My hips hurt. My feet hurt. I mean, it's got to be good for me, but oh boy, I'm tired. What are you looking at micro VMs for, Sarah? You hurt. Stop. It's like a mild soreness. We're okay. Micro VMs instead of containers. Well, what do you find to be the benefit there? Okay, how do I use tail scale to do stuff here? So, Umbrel OS remote access, is it, are they just going to make me install tail scale, or is there a system sort of already set up? Oh, that big MSP-ish project I was working on. Isolation, snapshotting, migration, the things you expect via a real hypervisor. Okay, that does sound pretty cool. By default, your Umbrel is only accessible from your local network. Correct. Remote access lets you reach it from anywhere, whether you're at work, blah, 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 blah. The easiest way is with Tailscale. Tailscale is free. Install Tailscale from the Umbrel App Store on your Umbrel. Install Tailscale on any device. Once both devices are on your Tailscale. Okay, so, yeah, that makes sense. So what they're saying is not like we have a nice sort of clean integration that just works TM. It's like go install Tailscale, and Tailscale is a pretty comfortable setup. So with good documentation, that makes sense. Cool. Evidently, Cloud Hypervisor has what I want. It's very slim and might just be the right call. Cool. Okay. So cool. Yeah, it's a nice UI. I like two-factor authentication. It's got a decent app store. It's kind of what I expect. I got 16 gigs of memory. I like that. It's my homepage. Is this the app store? Yeah. Files and productivity. What kind of cool stuff? Adventure log. Self-hostable travel tracker and trip planning. One of my favorite things about this is app stores let me help me find stuff. Because there's so many things. Flight tracking system. Huh. There's so many like self-hostable things, and having a way to make them very discoverable is pretty sweet. Need to see how it stacks up if I try to pack distroless containers into a micro VM. Much experimentation required. Indeed. Is this something like Casa OS? Yes, very much like that. Because my understanding is Casa OS kind of got like swallowed up by Zima OS, which went closed source, right? And so Umbrel OS is kind of our like remaining open source alternative. Umbrel sent me their Umbrel Pro to make a video about and stream about. And yeah, pretty UI, nice walkthrough. I had some hitches here and there. Like it was, had a bit of a glitchy start, but it's working pretty well. Couple of things I would say. There's a couple of things that I liked more than my Zima OS experience. Like setting up this backup process, it just like immediately detected my my existing NAS and everything, and that was pretty sweet. Pretty sure Zima does that too, but something about this felt better. That might be just because I've been through this experience before, and I was like, oh, okay, this one's gonna work. Yeah, I don't know. It's got an app store. It's got what I expect. It's got files. You know, I like that from my file explorer. So if I go here, I can have my like NAS mounted, and I can access it and sort of like forego something like Nextcloud. That's kind of sweet. But yeah, it's a NAS. It's a NAS operating system. I think it's going to do what it sort of sets out to do. A couple of things that I miss. I do like. I think the big thing is Zima OS's like mobile app. I think is going to be really good for non-home labbers. So just being able to install an app onto your mobile device that sort of backs up lots of stuff is going to be great. It's not that you can't do that, or you can't do similar things with, let's say, like Image, which you can easily set up to back up your photos specifically, but the sort of simplicity of the app handles remote connections, just like Tailscale would, but that means you're installing Image and Tailscale, and configuring them both correctly, which requires more knowledge. Yeah, slightly less automated, I think, but very polished user interface, very polished device. 16 gigabytes of memory instead of 8 is a big deal for me, like a really big deal. I don't know, pretty impressed. I'll play around with trying to get Hermes working. I don't know what I'm going to use Hermes for, but we'll play around with that. There's something I've been cooking on for a little while. Here, let's go face cam. I'm gonna sit, actually. I think I've had enough walking. Hold on. I'm gonna wrap this up with me in a chair. Cooking? Do tell. Yeah, okay, so actually, we'll just stand. I've been playing around with OpenSpec as kind of my way of vibe coding. It's become my thing, my approach. And what I was thinking was I've documented my home lab like a lot, right? Like I've got extensive markdown documents for pretty much the whole thing. And without too much effort, one, we could set up almost all of that stuff through things like Terraform, connected to Proxmox, various scripts. What's the other guy? Runs in Python. Sarah doesn't like it. Ansible, yes. So we do some Ansible stuff. A lot of it's Docker Compose. A lot of it's GitHub Actions. All of these things are text-based, right? Sure, plenty of this can be done through a GUI, but like a lot of my home lab, all of the like hardware and GUI stuff is more or less handled at this point. I've been sort of lazy and blocked on just like, there was a bunch of Ansible I didn't want to write. There was a bunch of Ansible I didn't want to write in test. We got pretty close, and then I just started looking at it and my eyes glazed over, and then it's been like 2 months. And I'm realizing that I could use OpenSpec to turn my documentations of the aspiration of my home lab into a series of specs. I've already got a Git repo that handles this. So it's like purposefully incurring technical debt. Do you have an alternative approach? Because I always respect your opinion. Ansible's been like talked up to me, so I'm curious. Like, what do you do to manage the config? I'm sorry, it's Nix, right? Your approach is Nix. Do you have a? Is there like a yeah right? Do you have a way to do remote configuration for Nix, or is that just like you have somehow? Do you like? Is there an SSH management system you've got? How are you handling that? In the meantime, I'm not ready to move to Nix. I am always sort of on the edge of thinking about Nix, but not quite there yet. So I need some remote management for some of this stuff. Okay, so there's some Ansible stuff. All of the Docker Compose stuff is all open spec, vibe codable. I would love to be setting up most of my VMs via Terraform. That sounds kind of cool, but I'm not sure yet. Already built into it. Oh, you can just tell Nix, hey, build this here and push it over and swap them. Holy shit. It's like every time I hear about Nix, it solves a problem that I have that has like a weird solution bolted onto Linux to make it go. So like I get it more and more. I don't know why I'm not ready yet. You write it perfectly once and don't touch it. For the use case you cited, Helm plus a library of custom cloud init images. Helm? Isn't Helm for Kubernetes? But also, okay, interesting. Yes, Cloud Init might be involved in this process too. NixOS rebuild switch -- Flave, my remote host, target host. Okay, that's fucking awesome. That is really cool. Okay. Huh. But yeah, like the general idea. Oh, my gain's too high. 1 second. I love Nix, but I'm too dumb to use it. Ah, Frosty, I bet you could. I bet you could. You can literally throw configs at other machines, and that's just built in, which means you can shell script all of that and then throw it on cron jobs and stuff. That's freaking awesome. Okay. Oh. Okay. Anyways, I'm not going to touch that yet, but that sounds really cool. Yes, but Rancher plus ESX cluster is pretty useful. It also rolls out the K8s clusters automatically. Okay, so I've been down the Kubernetes rabbit hole. I was doing like K3S stuff at home, and yeah, Yeah, and oh my god, like don't get me wrong, I want to learn Kubernetes eventually, but I was trying to do it here, and I just like halted. I just stopped doing things because it was just like the amount of work required was too high, and I was trying to learn like Helm syntax and then like manifest syntax because I can't help myself. I always want to like dig under the hood a little bit more, and then I just never did anything. And so, like, as somebody who makes YouTube videos, I really want to get my home lab going so that I can like start making videos about cool self-hostable stuff. But I keep blocking myself because I keep making the home lab too complicated. But I'm thinking potentially, right, that I could wait a second. Was it Wi-Fi? No, never mind. Sorry. I was thinking about the weird Umbrel thing. Um, hate Kate so much. I'm writing my own orchestrator. I know somebody else who's writing their own orchestrator, but that comes from a place of love. um, yeah. So, anyways, I'm moving to Docker and Compose, but I wanted this like really nice setup where I wanted to have sort of a staging, like a staging in a prod environment or a dev in a staging environment, something like that, so that I could test HomeLab updates before they go out to like my users, which for now is just like me and my fiance, but like you know, still in principle, right? And then I was like, oh, I need backup systems and stuff like that because I never do that. And then my home lab dies, and then I make a YouTube video about how my home lab exploded and get a bunch of hate comments from people telling me that I'm an idiot for not setting up static leases. And I was an idiot for not setting up static leases. But why? Everybody makes a mistake. Everybody does it at least once. Wait till you see how Sops Nick's handle is dealing with keys for you. Why do you sound so far from the mic? Oh. Okay, I turned. Wait a sec. Is it using. Wait, hold on. I think it swapped mics. One sec. Hello, test. Which mic are you using, my friend? Weird. All of a sudden, it's just not picking up my good mic. That's annoying. I'll have to fix that later, I guess. Wait, hold on. Audio monitoring device, desktop audio mic. Okay, wait. What the I think the gain's too high. Okay, how's that? How are we sounding? Sounds like it's not listening to the stand mic. I think so, but I don't know why. Hello? Test? There we go. Yeah, it swapped mics for some reason. Bizarre. A has gotten really good at writing nicks for you too now, so you can power through it. We might have to do another Nix experiment at some point. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, how's my audio now? I'm guessing better. But yeah, I've been thinking about OpenSpec as a home lab approach. And so let's see. We've tested out better if quiet. Okay. Almost there. That should be a little better. Yeah. Oh, okay. Whatever. Have I been using the wrong mic this whole time? Okay, that should be it. So, I'm thinking about using OpenSpec to set up my home lab and see how it goes. I think it could be disastrous. It could also be awesome, which is, you know, pretty on brand. So we'll give it a try. We've explored Umbrel OS today. I'll play around with Hermes some more and see about that. Sounds very neat to try at least, right? Yeah, right. It could be really cool. Worst case, it's disastrous and I tear it all down and we had a great time. So I'm gonna explore that. We'll try it out next week. Yeah, and then I've got 2 weeks. I'm out in BC, so I won't be streaming then. Should be videos going out. I need to. I'm gonna try to get a video out this week. I don't know yet what on. I think I might make a video next week. Another chance to convert you to NixOS yet. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the thing is, like, okay, I use a bunch of. How many purpose-built operating systems do I use? I use Proxmox, and I don't think I'm going to switch off of Proxmox, unless Nix is just magic. I don't know. And then I have Proxmox backup server, right? And then I have what else? I have TrueNAS Scale and OpenSense. And then from there, NixOS managing micro VMs is the next target. Ah, okay, I see where you're going with that now. This makes sense. I'm gonna let you go ahead and de-risk that for me, and let me know how it goes. I am not gonna be the one cooking on that, but if you come up with a really cool solution, I'll absolutely take a look at it. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna play around with this, see if we can get that Ansible going. Yes, Home Assistant OS, that's also running. So like, I guess right now I have Home Assistant OS running on my Proxmox, right? It would be really nice to get Home Assistant OS as part of like a Terraform script that just launches. The problem with that is like, I don't know how useful that is, because at the end of the day, like my recovery plan is not launch a new Home Assistant OS via Terraform, right? It's like pull the backups from, like pull the backups of the image or whatever. Well, I guess it would be the image, the VM from Proxmox backup server, and then load that back up. It's not going to be a Terraform system. Have you tested your backups? They're not even built yet, right? So I'm hoping OpenSpec can help me with my backup process. We were getting pretty close, right? Like we had Proxmox backup server running. No, wait, what do we have exactly? Because I'm gonna have to look at the docs, at my docs, and like refresher on this. HAOS itself has nice backups of itself as of now. Was worse a year ago, but now it's great. Ooh, the worst thing is I have backups. Wait, no, I don't. Yes, I mean I'm not running anything important in my home lab at the moment, other than TrueNAS Scale, which has my YouTube stuff, right? So I've got videos there, like clips and stuff. So if that went down, I'd be sad, but I wouldn't lose too much. The big issue is it would take me time to fix TrueNAS Scale so that I can like go back to editing videos and stuff. So, you know, there's that to work on. But I think, yeah, what I'll have to do next, like before next stream, is kind of read up on where I was and start to do documentation of like the OpenSpec specs, and then we can start to walk through some of that together, kind of show you my workflow and see how it goes. Could be really fun. Non sequitur, you should try OpenSnitch. OpenSnitch. Is this... That's a new update in TrueNAS stable branch this week, by the way. Oh, okay, cool. GNU Linux interactive application. Application firewall. Oh. Interactive outbound connections filtering. Blocks ads, trackers, or malware domains. System-wide. Okay. This is cool. This feels... Am I right in interpreting this as like serving similar purpose to like AdGuard Home, that kind of thing? Which I also really, really want to get up and running again. Not quite? Okay. But yeah, so that's kind of what's on the docket, I guess. What we're looking at soon. It's more knowing what's talking on my computer. Okay, that would be really cool. Like, can I set it to read not just this computer, but the traffic coming, like what's going out of another computer? Because one of the things I would like to do is, I know like Plus was saying he did a check on like his smart TV, like the traffic coming out of the smart TV, and it was just absurd, right? I've not used the nodes feature, but I presume so. Okay, cool. Because I would really love to do a video just kind of like watching the traffic coming out of a smart TV. It's a local version of NTO PNG. Okay, NTOP network. NTOP. I'm trying to figure out what that is an acronym for. NTOP. What is the NG? High-speed web-based traffic analysis and flow collection. Cool. Oh, actually, can I ask your advice about something, gang? Let me see if I can bring it up. I got an interesting request from some company that makes like a what is the thing? This, okay, I'm gonna bring it up over here. I got a request, like I get collaboration requests fairly frequently, right? Oh, I like that it's open source. It's a good start. Okay. So I got a request from these guys. Nope, not the Hacker News. Can I just get their website? Holy shit, why is Google so awful? Like, it's so bad now. I want their page. Why would I want anything else? Okay, so I got a request to do like a collaboration, which means sponsored video, about this self-hostable web application firewall, right? And it includes cool features and stuff that I don't fully understand yet. I'd have to do quite a bit of reading to get there. This is kind of like on the edge of the things that I know about and I'd like to learn more about, so it's kind of cool. But yeah, this company reached out and was like, hey, we'd love to like reach your audience and all of that jazz. We have a product that I think they'd like. It's open source. You can read it. You can self-host it. You can put it in front of your web services, and it can do cool things like threat detection and bot protection, and even some like identity stuff. So and auth and things like that. You can block web scrapers if you're self-hosting your website and stuff. And they were asking me if I would be interested in a collaboration. Now, here's the thing. Off the bat, I'm like, this looks pretty cool, but I don't know the company. I don't know that much about this kind of software. I'm curious what people think. Does anybody know about this company? Does anybody know kind of like if this kind of thing would be useful? Anytime I collaborate with a company based in China, I get some shit for it. But like, I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, I'm as wary of American companies as I am Chinese companies at this point. So, and also like I'm looking at open source stuff, right? It's kind of hard to be shady when your stuff's open source and self-hostable. So it seems like a cool opportunity. Anybody know? If not, I'll do more reading myself and take a look and see if I can figure it out. I mean, could be neato, but requires substantial due diligence. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Right? Like, it's question is, would you expose a port on public IPs of your home to services you don't trust, so you'd want a WAF? I used to do that for my like personal personal website. That was a terrible idea, by the way. I don't know why I was up to that. But yeah. I don't know. Seems interesting. It seems like people might have a use for it. I'm going to do some research into the company. I'm going to email them saying like, hey, like, thank you so much for offering. This seems aligned. I'm going to take some time to do some research into kind of like the company and what, what you're up to. If you have like a package or something to explain kind of your company and your value proposition and all that, then I'd happily take a look. Because it looks cool. It looks fun. I could totally see running something like this for anything I'm running actually in the public, which is something that we're now really thinking about. I say we because the folks I'm sort of partnered with for quote unquote the company. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap up real soon, but I want to show off one thing. Let's see here. This guy. Okay. Oh, right. Yeah. No, that's not it. Okay. So this is Kairos. I'd run community over their code base to start. Okay, I'm going to copy paste that. What am I looking for with that? Just drop that into our Discord chat. There's a task for Hermes even. Okay, cool. All right. So I've been working on this thing that's basically I've been using Pomodoro timers at work recently. I don't really care for Pomodoro timers for helping me focus. Like, focus has not been an issue for me in the past. But now the focus for me has not been on like improving my focus. It's been on like every 30 minutes getting up to do like a stretch or an exercise or something like that. This is how I fit in my calisthenics and stuff. I just like every 30 minutes have a pause and do some push-ups or like a pull-up or whatever, right? I have dumbbells under my desk. And that's been really cool. But I was thinking to myself, damn, I'd really love if this system was a little bit more intelligent about what exercises I want to be doing, and then also was just like a little bit more fun to use and pretty and things like that. So I built what I call Kairos. Kairos is the Greek word for kind of like the opportune moment, and I thought that would be fun because I've been playing Hades. And so I was like, okay, what if we took Pomodoro timer for stretches and things, and then give it Hades-based pick 3 system to like basically gamify your exercise. You're like small time exercise throughout the workday. Because I don't know, I thought it'd be fun. And that gives me this vibe coded Electron app I've got. It needs a lot of work, obviously, but it is fun. So it gives you the start. I've got the settings page, which kind of lets you configure a bunch of things. So right now, your focus interval, which is your like work, like how long you plan on focusing for, I've got it set to 1 minute so that I can like test it really quickly. And then you've got rarity is associated with the duration of your break, which is kind of fun. I've got this like grounding ritual thing, which basically is just the first activity you do. Yeah, so let's show that off. Boom. So I like to start off my work with this with a meditation. So I do like 30 deep breaths, which takes about 5 minutes. It's like a quick, easy meditation that kind of like helps ground me. I'm trying a gratitude thing so that I don't get grumpy every day at work. So I'm just like, okay, naming 3 things that I'm grateful for about my workday. And then I write out whatever tasks I plan on doing that day. I've got this like, hold on. This like Autodesk branded notebook that I write my tasks in. So I do that. And then go back to this. Sorry, I'm just really excited about this, so I'm sharing. And it does a little thing. So it's got the timer for how long. Usually epic rarity blessings. These are your exercises or whatever. Are 10 minutes. I've got it set to 3 right now for easy tests. And it just does this. I'm going to let this time out, and then we'll sort of show you the draw mechanism. Actually, no, wait, hold on. We can just do this. Unfortunately, it's an electron. So, I don't know. You can hate me for that or not. I used to be an electron hater. No, I'm not. Whatever. So, this is kind of the idea, right? So, once you're done a work session, it gives you a pick 3. And so we've got a couple of categories. You know, there's nutrition, there's strength, there's mindfulness, there's a little bit of cardio, there's one more in there. Is it mobility? Did I already do flexibility? Whatever, something like that. And you just get fun stuff like this. So for normally the rarity would be 5 minutes, and so you take a little break, you go name some senses and stuff. Very loud audio compared to mic. Apologies. I'll fix that for next time. Thanks, Proton. Um, but yeah, or it'll tell you to do like a set of pull-ups or like go get some water. And I don't know, like I'm really excited about this. So my plan is this. My plan for this app, right, is to open source it and give it away for free on Linux, and then like sell it for something like $10 on Mac. It might use more RAM than Windows XP, but RAM usage is the modern flexing. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I wasn't going to learn Rust for version like 0.1 so I could write it in Tauri. That wasn't going to happen. So I figured first, like the fastest way I can get this up off the ground and get to use it, the better. If I really doubt performance is really going to be like a big problem with this thing, I'll do like battery auditing and stuff like that to make sure that it doesn't suck. But yeah, thank you. Yeah. So that's my plan. I plan on giving it away for Linux users. Right now it's closed source, but I'll open it for the Linux version. For the Mac version, I'll sell that probably on like Patreon or something. I'll try to get it notarized. And then eventually I'll look into mobile because I think it would be cool. I showed it to a couple of friends and they're already like, damn, can I install that on my phone and use it as like a focus blocker? I was like, damn, I didn't even think about that. Sure. That sounds awesome. I'm not going to use that. So I've been using this like Mac setup. But yeah, I kind of like the idea of making the Linux version of things kind of free, open source, just giving it away, and then making like making the mobile and Mac users pay for it. That just sounds really funny to me, and it also makes a lot of sense. Unity if you hate yourself. Yeah. Yeah. By the way, Canonical took over Flutter Desktop from Google. Oh. Could work for this kind of app. Go the Unity route. Okay. Yeah, I'll look into it. I'm going to I'll build out version 1 in Electron and just like get it working. Unity, the rotten desktop, not the rotten game engine. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. Do the double funny. App Store for 10, F-Droid for free. Yeah. Exactly. That's kind of my goal. I could absolutely use advice if anybody knows about how to sell software that you're also open sourcing, because I want to make a little bit of money on this, but I also want people to be able to read it, right? That's important to me. So, yeah, I don't know how to do that. I also want to make a quick note. I've been using like a Pomodoro timer app thing called Stretchly. It's open source, and it's kind of what I based the idea on this, or based the idea for this on. But I made a very like hardline stance as I went into this that I would never read its code or cite its code, like look into it or use its code in any sort of way, because it felt really wrong to me to read that code and build it into an application that I plan on selling. That felt super unfair, so I made sure never to do that. But I do also want to give credit to the idea. Like Stretchly was really cool. I love it. And it is open source, so that's cool. I think it's fair enough to have Mac and mobile users pay. It's kind of the Apple condition with how the marketplace is run. Yes, that's kind of my approach. I felt like I was taking a very ethical middle ground to not just giving it away. So I'm glad that came across and people seem to be cool with that. Yes, the key is your license. So I need to look into the correct license. I'm at a point with this where I'm very close to shipping a version 0.01 for a couple of like alpha testers. If anyone's interested in that, the Linux version is not there. So if you've got a Mac, let me know. And I can see about shipping this. I don't know how far off I am. I don't think too much. Should be fun. So yeah, thank you for listening to I'm so excited about this project. So yeah, AGPL and various BSL variants are options. Okay, cool. Awesome. Thank you. So I will look into AGPL and BSL variants so that I can sell this and open source it. Woohoo! Okay. that's everything I've got for today. Thank you so much for joining me on Twitch for the first time. Thanks for listening to my rants. Thanks for helping me debug Umbrel. Thanks, Dad. It was the link. Nice catch. Yeah, we'll put Mux Opus under AE GPLv3 when ready in a few years. Oh, that's you plus. Oh, that's you on Twitch. Okay, I was like, okay. It didn't click. I was like, wow, new person. Okay, cool. Yeah, awesome. Did we do anything else cool today? No, I think it was just a good time. Poking around Hermes. Umbrel OS looks great. I'll make a video about it. He got there eventually. Yeah, for real. I'm a little slow. I'll make a video on Umbrel. Ships late June is when I'll be doing that. It's going to say the usual things, but soon enough. It's going to do the usual things. I like it. I think it's a good device. I think the big standout quality of it over something like a Zima Cube, which is clearly its competitor, is one, it's open source, so huzzah, the principles of the thing. And then two is the fact that if you're interested in like an M2 based NAS, there you go. And it's small enough to kind of sit beside your Apple TV if you're not a home labber and you just like need a place to put the device. That's kind of the differentiating factor. Other than that, it's a beautiful device. It's a beautiful GUI. If you plug in the Ethernet correctly, it works. So you know what the video is going to be about in advance. But I don't have anything negative to say about it yet. I don't think so. Oh, I missed the VMs feature. Zima OS's like VM management is kind of cool. Although it does feel a little bit weird. Like the logs bug me. Yes. I'm hoping that was because of how I misconfigured it, but I'll take a look into that further. But also, I don't expect like you, Sarah, or like Plus to be running Umbrel OS, right? Like this is not targeted at you. You're like, you know how to run your home lab. This is kind of targeted at people who want something plug and play and connects directly to their Mac without thinking. Yeah. Excellent point. People like you do have to fix it. Yeah. I'll think about that. Okay, gang. Thank you so much. This has been super fun. I will catch you next week, and then I've got 2 weeks off of stream. But yeah.